Good evening. It is the 12th day of March 2026 and welcome to the news, Rational TV. I am your anchor, Caroline Oracha. Let's get the headlines. Farmers in Trans Nzoia County decry fertilizer shortages as planting seasons get underway. MPs question Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC 888 million supplementary budget report as commissioners claimed new cars. United States Human Rights Group raises alarm over Kenya's passport scandal, citing President Ruto's link with the Sudan RSF. Farmers in Trans Nzoia County decry fertilizer shortages as planting season gets underway. In Nyonyek area of Cherangani constituencies, farmers say they are ready to plant yet lacking a crucial input, fertilizers. Let's get the report from Sammy Rogers.
Farmers in Trans Nzoia County are raising alarm of a fertilizer shortage as the planting season begins. At the National Cereal and Produce Depot in Kitale, farmers have been flocking in large numbers in search of fertilizer, where some consignments have begun arriving. Farmers say the available stock is not the type needed for this planting season.
Msimu wa upanzi, but mpaka saa hizi hatujaweza kupata mbolea. Tumezoea kutumia mbolea aina ya mavuno na OCP. Tumeenda NCPBD kwa muda mrefu tukiwa hapo tukipiga foleni, tukirudi nyumbani kila siku. Hatujapata mbolea.
Asubuhi tumeona wametuletea mbolea ya NPK 23 na DCP, ambapo wakulima wa Trans Nzoia wanaamini mbolea ni mbolea ya maharagwe short season, ambapo saizi wanapanda mahindi.
Reporting for Rational TV, Sami Mokamsha, Trans Nzoia County.
Member of Parliament's question Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC 888 million supplementary budget request as commissioners claimed new cars. Members of the National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has raised a red flag over the commissioners' priorities, which also include the construction of 3.5 million Kenya shillings Uchaguzi Center. Members of the committee questions the need for large allocation, with some lawmakers terming it non-essential. Let's get the report from Ishmael Kenga.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is seeking an additional 888 million Kenya shillings, among other things, to buy new cars for commissioners, refurbishing its offices, and conduct enhanced mass voter registration at the end of this month. In this request, IEBC wants the money to cater for the former IEBC CEO, Marjan Hussein Marjan, exit package, which includes his salary and gratuity 1 month after his departure from the commission. The commission is also seeking 168 million Kenya shillings for the purchase of commissioners' vehicles, 10 million Kenya shillings for the furniture, and 120 million Kenya shillings for the renovation of commissioners' office.
What is itemized? What is itemized?
I just want the commissioner to confirm that the situation room is actually not a war station.
It is not anything warlike. If there is anything proximate to war, it is the information which has been turned into misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. This election will be won on the basis of how well IEBC communicates.
Reporting for Rational TV, Kenga Ishmael, Nairobi.
United States Human Rights Group raises alarm over Kenya's passport scandal, citing President Ruto's link with Sudan RSF. A leading U.S. human rights group has landed into Kenya-Sudan Authority with issuing identity and travel documents to individuals linked to human rights war-torn in Sudan. Victor Nzaro with the full details.
Kenya is cited as having issued passports to more than 25 Sudanese nationals, among the U.S.-sanctioned Al-Gon Hamdan Daglo Musa, the younger brother of RSF Commander Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, on its X account. The Human Rights Foundation indicated its alarm at what it described as Kenya's action to issue passports to sanction Sudanese war financiers and other individuals associated with Sudanese Rapid Support Forces, which is described as genocidal. Despite the outrage that followed the passport's revelations, the Immigration Department under the Director General Evelyn Chelugatang, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, has yet to issue a detailed response. The entry of international human rights body into the matter is now expected to intensify scrutiny on the Kenya government as pressure mounts for answers.
Now, our government is selling our identity to foreigners for maybe the price of beans, or I don't know what's the reason why they're selling the passports to foreigners.
Reporting for Rational TV, Vic Tanzaro, Nairobi.
The sale of 15% government stake in Safaricom was debated for the first time in Parliament, and public debt and privatization, MPs divided over the divestiture. The sale of 15% government to Vodacom, valued at 204 billion Kenya shillings, has been approved. A report tabled by a joint parliamentary committee on finance and national planning and public debt privatization endorsed condition that the deal will not result in any job losses. The proceeds from the sale are expected to bolster the newly established National Infrastructure Fund Kitty. Let's get the details from our reporter, Frederick Ekesa.
In approving the sales of shares to Vodacom valued at 204 billion Kenyan shillings, the Joint Committee observed that the valuation exercise applies safeguards to protect public interest. The committee noted that the negotiated price of 34% per share aligns with market movement, adding that negotiating with Vodacom minimizes execution risks and preserves market confidence. They also assure that the personal data will be protected under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act, and that 855,000 Safaricom direct employee jobs are safeguarded. The committee proposed that the Vodacom pays 40.2 billion Kenyan shillings dividend upfront to the government, and that proceeds from the transaction be ring-fenced under the National Infrastructure Fund.
Because we're also buying the Vodafone stake as well. It stands out as not just a standout company in Kenya, but in and not just in the East African community, but I would say globally. So, fantastic company, fantastic, development capabilities and so on that we can also export into the broader groups.
This is a partial divestment, and the government will continue to retain a significant stake in the company. This decision follows rigorous analysis, independent valuation advice, and compliance with the Public Finance Management Act and other regulatory requirements.
Reporting for Rational TV from Nairobi, my name is Frederick Ekesa.
And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin of today. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, I've been your presenter, Caroline Oracha.